Hello patrons. So today in this video I have collected some of my most affordable original artwork to show you. This group of pieces I will be showing on Facebook Live later in this week. Being that you are patrons, I wanted to show you first so that if any of these speak to you, you have the opportunity to collect them if you would like. If not, they're gonna be available later on in the week on Facebook. So these pieces range from $300 to $1,000, with most of them being under $600. And I'll start with this piece here. Many of them aren't framed, so you can also purchase these and ask for them to be framed for a fee. This is Cubas Ova. This piece here is drawn with a chemical formula for luciferin, which is important in bioluminescence. I created this piece on my journey to create the jellyfish piece for the commission that you guys saw me working on. This is unique in that it glows. I don't have a black light set up here, but I can post photos below that show it glowing. This glows blue, white in the body and a bright red in the center there. And I also created the scratch board itself. So this was clay board, and I stained it with ink before etching so it has this great aqua tone. And this can be framed. It's 5 by 5 inches. This piece is $300. It's called Cubas Ova. Next up I have these two pieces that are from my Kickstarter campaign that I did in about 2016. These are the last two remaining. I called them my specimens. So they're mounted in glass. This is ventricular. This is also $300. This features the ventricles of the brain. It's 4 hollow chambers in the brain. It's drawn with the rate at which cerebrospinal fluid is created and replaced within the ventricles, as well as a healthy pressure for an adult in the sitting position. And a really important equation I can't remember the name of right now, but it measures the interocular pressure and production. I'll find it. Anyway, this one is also $300. It is ink on toned paper. This piece I am pretty fond of. This is my anatomical eyeball, and it is drawn entirely with anatomical terms, much like the pieces I'm working on now. So we have things like Ora serrata, the Purkinje tree here. That's the Purkinje tree. This is the neural tunic and the choroid tunic. Of course, you have the iris and ciliary processes there. I stained this paper with watercolor and then drew it with micron pens. This piece is set to hang in this configuration, but you have some freedom if you'd like. You can hang it really any way you'd like, because it's a free-floating image. I think this angle would also work for the eyeball. And these frames measure 12 by 12 inches. They're my specimen frames. The next three I have are some of my earlier work. These leaves were created to hang with transitional, which is the woman under the tree. These pieces are really meant to hang any way you like because they're so free. This piece here, I have this wire hung in such a way that when you hang it, it looks like this on the wall. Again, all of these can be reframed for a fee if you'd like. This piece also stands on a counter or table or whatever. This is my favorite of the 3 leaves. I will admit I have favorites. This one is called Autumn Dancer. And all 3 of these are drawn with the numbers of the clock 1 through 12, which is meant to represent time passing, to remind us just to be present and be here. So that one's Autumn Dancer. I also have this piece here is Autumn's Spiral. Let's see if you can see that nice spiral shape there. And if we can see the numbers. And again, it's 1 through 12, micron pen on paper. These measure about 8 by 10 inches. They're $300 each. Ideally, I would like these 3 to all go to the same home, but they are available for individual sale. If you want to collect all three of them, we can discuss potentially a decreased cost for all three. And here is a nice close view. And my next piece is even older than these. So this was before I started doing scratchboard etchings. This is white gel pen on toned paper. This features a hand holding a pocket watch. This piece is also drawn with the numbers of the clock 1 through 12 to show time passing and to remind us again to be present. I keep saying that. I probably don't need to say that every time anymore. I like this part here where you can see the chain break and the numbers dissipate. This is a sort of a visual theme in my work. If you'd like this piece, I insist that I replace this. Right here, it's currently just plexiglass holding this down. This needs a proper piece of glass. I do recommend getting museum quality glass. It protects from UV and this glare that you see happening here. This piece is also unique in that there are no prints of it. So the person who owns the original of this piece would have the only image. And this piece is, I believe, $400 or $500. And it's referred to as, I think, Hands of Time. Next up, we have Same Love. This piece I drew when I was at New York Comic-Con a couple of years back. And this also is only available as the original. There are no prints. This features a same-sex couple kissing, and there's a lot of glare, which is unfortunate. You can see my drawing table and my camera. Okay. This is drawn with a chemical formula for dopamine and oxytocin. And it's drawn, it's colored pencil on black paper. And this piece is $400. I'm actually really into this frame. It would just need museum quality glass, and then I think it's just ready to go. Just wire it for you. So this piece is $400. Trying to get through the glare so you can see the numbers. If you've been a patron for a while, you probably watched me create this piece, which I call a Flutter, and you'll know how much work went into creating this. So this is one of my most intense projects just because of how many steps I went through to make this. So this was a layer of fluorescent paint underneath I painted the entire butterfly on this white clay board, and then coated that whole thing in the black ink you see here. And then I etched to reveal the numbers, and then I went back in and painted the background border. Before I sprayed it, it looked amazing because all of that fluorescent paint underneath glowed brightly and beautiful, and it was gorgeous, and I was just in love with it. And then I sprayed it with UV spray, and it made it a little bit dull for the effect. It looks just fine in white light. It's very, very colorful and detailed, and it has this really great texture, if you can see that, where it really captures the depth of those numbers. So it really feels like an etching. So if the glow effect worked, I'd be pricing this one higher. But because the glow effect doesn't work as well as I was hoping, I think this one is it $500 or $600? I should know these things. So this is the Flutter. I think this is 4x7. The frame is about 6x8. And then this is the thoracic vertebra. It's 12 by 12 inch oil painting numberism etching. Again, anyone who's been a patron for a while probably saw me create this. I really love this texture and the effects. It makes me feel like it's an archaeological dig, and it has really great depth. The numbers in this piece are really fine. And I don't have any big fade off of the numbers where you have large numbers. So this piece is really great for those who like to see a really complete image with really no idea that it has numbers in it, but only being able to really enjoy the numberism effect on closer inspection. And this is called thoracic, and it's drawn with the active range of motion for the thoracic vertebra, as well as a chemical formula for hydroxyapatite, which is a bone mineral. This was the test etching I did before completing a commission on a thoracic vertebra. This piece is $1,000. And this can hang as it is once we wire it, or you can have it framed. And then lastly is not a numberism piece, it's a painting. I think this is an 8x10 oil painting. This is called Shinrin-yoku, which is forest bathing, and it was my oil painting take on the concept. The same concept as the forest bathing piece. That one I did with numbers. This is my oil painting version of it. I really love the texture of this painting. You can see how much it comes off the surface there. It's a really great tactile experience. It's really not flat except for her skin. And this is an assortment of local wildflowers. I think that's a trillium. It's my favorite trillium. It's one of my favorites. I think this one is listed at $700. I am open to discussing this with you guys. This is an 8x10. It's on board, which is one of my favorite things to paint on, actually. I find oil paint on canvas, it kind of bounces, which is annoying to me. This is a nice, reliable surface. So this piece is also available. I love the color on this piece and the detail. I spent a really long time on this. Tiny little piece. Okay, so I think that's all of the pieces that I have brought for you today. If you have any questions about them, you can comment below or message me directly and we can chat about it. A lot of these are some older pieces, so if you have questions of the prices, we can talk about it. Yeah, and if you'd like to see more videos like this, let me know. I do have a lot of work that's not actually on the website that I could show you, that I can talk about what went into them and the story behind them, and also just let you know what's actually for sale if they're not on the website. And then later this week, I'm going to do a Facebook Live video showing these same pieces. Yes, okay, and thank you, and this is the end of my video. Okay, bye guys.